Welcome back to the Junior Moneymakers Podcast, where we help kids become young entrepreneurs that can start and grow their own business. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of August, and this is episode number 11. Today, we're going to be talking about a question that I get asked all the time. What is the best age for my kid to start their own business? Well, I'll warn you up front that this episode is highly geared towards parents. So if you're a junior moneymaker that doesn't want to peek behind the curtain, I suggest you tune this one out now. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to make a mind. All right, parents, you still with me? Then let's do this. So this week's question is, what is the perfect age to start a business? Unfortunately, this question isn't as easy as it sounds, and I'm not sure I can answer it flat out. That being said, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I hope to clear up a few common misconceptions so that we can have you ready to start your kid hustle with confidence, regardless of how old you are. But before we begin, I do want to mention the Tuttle Twins book series. If you haven't heard of the Tuttle Twins yet, you need to check them out. The Tuttle Twins is an amazing series that teaches kids all about where money comes from and how free markets work. This is a must-have series for anyone that wants to develop their junior moneymaker. So let's get started. I think the first step is for us to know exactly what we're shooting for in this episode. Simply throwing out an age and ending the program likely isn't going to get you anywhere. So what are we shooting for? At the beginning of the show, you heard me say my goal, which is to help kids become entrepreneurs that can start and grow their own business. This is something that I take very seriously and something that should be exciting to both parents and kids alike. Something equally important to me is my why. My why is the main reason I record this podcast, and that is my desire to teach you how to run a profitable business and manage your money now while you still live at home under the guidance of your parents. Learning this skill now while you still have a built-in safety net means that your mistakes shouldn't cost you your house or the groceries in the fridge. You see, if we manage this right today, junior moneymakers will grow up to be well-rounded adults that can take their own money and live their entire lives debt-free. Now, if my why can help your future family follow that path, I believe that's amazing with my life. So now, with all that being said, you might have noted that I still haven't answered the question, and here's why. Simply stated, there is no perfect age to start a business. Instead, we need to focus our goal on learning skills and handling both success and failure before we move out of our parents' homes. So rather than address what the perfect age is, let's talk about the 3 big ideas that we want all junior moneymakers to learn before they go off on their own. First up, money is valuable and it comes from hard work. This is a lesson that I have seen mastered in some 4-year-olds, and I can still be baffled at how many teenagers still believe that money grows on trees or, at the very least, magically appears in their parents' wallets. Kids need to know that money obeys the laws of physics. It doesn't spontaneously manifest, and that it often comes only on the end of hard work that may even include a little sweat. We can teach our kids that money is valuable in a lot of different ways, but one is by making them pay their own way whenever feasible. In our house, we provide room and board, and we provide family TVs, iPads, we even buy our kids presents on holidays and normal days when we just feel like blessing them, which honestly can seem like all the time. But while we do bless them and provide for them, one thing we do not do is provide them spending money. You see, in this house, if they want spending money, they're going to have to earn it. This is a lesson they've been taught virtually from birth. They don't usually ask for things at the store, and they don't beg for toys or cry for clothes or candy. They don't do these things because they know without a shadow of a doubt that their pleas would fall on deaf ears. In this house, if you want something, you're gonna have to work hard for it. This very small, very subtle lesson will change everything in your home. Next up, we need to talk about ways to make money. I don't know if you've ever thought about this before, but money typically only comes from one of 4 sources. There are a lot of different names for these, but I'm going to stick with the definitions that are used in the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series. So let's paraphrase. You can either work as an employee, you can be self-employed, you can generate passive income, or you can invest. For simplicity, In this episode, we're going to focus on the first three. Understanding these three concepts will have a huge impact on your future, so pay attention. Before our kids leave the house, they should be familiar with these three income streams. Number 1, working as an employee. This one is as basic as it gets. Here we are simply trading our time and effort in exchange for cold, hard cash. Some very typical jobs that kids hold are grocery store baggers, retail employees, cashiers, fast food employees, etc. So while there are different child labor laws, you don't have to wait until your kids are 16 and up before showing them how this one works. Simply find a few things they can do around the house for extra money and pay them for their time rather than the job they're doing. While we don't pay our kids for normal chores, we do pay them for things like yard work. If you want to show them how it feels to be an employee, just come to an arrangement on how much their time is worth and put them to work. For younger kids, this can be as easy as saying we're going to clean for 5 minutes in exchange for a quarter. Set the timer, and when that puppy dings, pay the man. This is by far my least favorite method of making money, so I'm not going to waste too much time on it. If you want your kids to grow into 9 to 5 employees, this is where to start. Number 2, self-employment. This one is just as easy as the first. Rather than earning a flat-out hourly wage, the self-employed are entitled to all of the revenue their business generates minus expenses, taxes, etc. What I like most about self-employment is that it really helps drive the point home that wealth comes directly from providing value to others. The self-employed are forced to find a niche that needs to be serviced and figure out how to fill the need at a price that customers can afford and are willing to pay. On top of that, they're learning how to manage expenses, market, comply with codes and regulations, and a whole list of other skills. Pushing this one is pretty easy. You can just listen to this great new show I heard of called the Junior Moneymakers Podcast. The host is pretty awesome, and he'll get you hooked up. Number 3, passive income. This is the holy grail of income streams. Passive income is money that comes in with little to no work on your part. Passive income isn't easy, but once you put in the work, the extra income is awesome. A few ways to think about passive income are things like blogging, podcasting, and running content sites. These posts can have affiliate links and advertisements, and if the content is evergreen, meaning it is more or less timeless, people will continue to go back and check it out. For example, if you make a website dedicated to reviewing toys and you include Amazon affiliate links to those toys, your viewers will continue to buy through those links long after you record the videos or post the articles. There are a lot of ways to make passive income, and this is just one of them. But before our kids leave the house, they should understand that it is possible to configure a passive income stream and make money even while on vacation or in class. Okay, let's hit on the final big idea we want our kids to know before they leave the house. But before we do, let's talk about the Tuttle Twins. In the food truck fiasco, Ethan and Emily learn how disruptive businesses must fight against their crony competitors. Competitors with friends in government who try and protect themselves from innovative upstarts. The twins witness this battle firsthand with their food truck friends as they embark on a campaign to win public support and overturn the laws that would otherwise shut them down. You can get a copy of the Food Truck Fiasco for 20% off by using my affiliate link at juniormoneymakers.com/book and entering the code LIBERTY at checkout. Okay, now it's time to talk about what our kids should be doing with all the money they're going to be making. In our house, our kids own all of the money they earn. We're pretty big on private property rights around here, but over the years we have guided them into a system that they continue to use, albeit voluntarily. We use a free program called 3jars.com that allows us to keep track of their money in simple envelopes labeled Save, Spend, and Give, and I'll touch on each one of those for you in a second. Our kids give us their cash and we deposit it into 3 Jars online while we hold the physical money in an envelope. So let's talk about those envelopes. The first envelope, the Save envelope, is incredibly important. Of course, your kids should have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved for their business, but also their personal expenses. If they pay for things like cell phone bills, gas, car payments, etc., they should save for an emergency fund first and foremost. Once they have that covered, this envelope should be for saving for any big ticket items they want to buy. Learning to save delays gratification, encourages goal setting, and helps them buy big ticket items they may never otherwise get. The second envelope is the spend envelope. This envelope is for exactly what it sounds like: eating out, buying toys, candy, going to the movies, whatever. It is just as important to teach a saver to spend as it is to teach a spender to save. Money should be enjoyed responsibly, and setting a specific amount aside to spend helps us budget our fun. And yes, I know those two words don't go together at all. The final envelope, the give envelope, is arguably the most important. I am a firm believer in the tithe, or the giving of 10% of my income back to God. But aside from that, we know that giving is a very attractive quality that transforms us from the inside out. Generosity makes us more compassionate, kind, and happier people. This is a scientific fact. We encourage our kids to use their give envelopes to buy each other Christmas and birthday presents, or to give to missionary groups and other things that are not focused on themselves. Setting money aside to give opens up the stingy part of our heart, and it gives us the permission we need to bless others. This is a skill that every adult needs to understand and master before they even think about moving out of their parents' home. Okay, I can't close this out without a very, very important bonus tip. Here it is. Our kids must know without a shadow of a doubt that we do not borrow money. We don't take out business loans. We don't take out car loans. We pay our own way and we finance our own ventures. If that means we start as employees and save up our own money to start our business, fine. The only thing we're allowed to borrow money on is our house, and that's going to come later. You can tune into the Dave Ramsey Show, and I'm sure he will help educate you if you're on the fence about this one. But know that I believe that this is as important or more important than any other business principle that I teach. Teach this to your children any and every chance that you get. And there you have it, a long answer to a very short question. So when I am asked, what is the best age for my kids to start their business? I simply reply, right now. Age really doesn't matter here. Ultimately, before kids leave the home, they need to understand three basic things: where money comes from, how they earn it, and what to do with it once they get it. We should be constantly on the lookout for teachable moments and opportunities to drive home these three concepts. And don't worry if all of this seems just a little bit overwhelming. I'm in this one for the long haul, and you and I are in this together. All right, Junior Moneymakers, that's going to wrap up episode number 12. If you have a business-related question that you'd like to have answered on the show, head to juniormoneymakers.com/ask and you can record your question right on the site. I'm your host, Mark, and until next week, remember to dream big and change the world. The views expressed on this program in no way represent the views of the United States Air Force, the Department of Defense, or the United States government, and are solely those of the host and their guest. Additionally, the ideas in this program should only be tried after ensuring compliance with all laws and regulations, and then only with parents' permission. Finally, while we believe in every idea we present, we cannot guarantee your results, as all individual results will vary. Earlier in this episode, I mentioned a book series called The Tuttle Twins. This is one of my absolute favorite series when it comes to teaching kids about free markets and ideas like non-aggression principles, personal responsibility, and protectionism. The books are incredibly well written and boiled down to core concepts that children 6 to 10 can easily grasp. If you want to support the show, use my affiliate link at juniormoneymakers.com/book, and you can check out all 6 of their titles, which can be purchased with a combo pack discount. They also just released all 6 books on audiobook, which my kids are really excited about. And you can get all 6 books together for less than $20, which I'm really excited about. Don't forget, if you use the code LIBERTY at checkout, you can even drop 20% off of your order. The Tuttle Twins series is the first book series on my Certified for Junior Moneymakers list, and I am absolutely stoked to be affiliated with them. Check them out and email me at mark@juniormoneymakers.com and let me know what you think. So I used to work at a calendar factory, but they fired me after I took a couple days off.